This is digitally, a voice in the air, a connection with. There was a time when a voice found a way to bring operators together every day. A place for the curious, a place to learn, a digital signal waiting for its turn. From Denton County came a sound so clear, a gathering of friends who knew no fear. Lenora, K5, WXR led the way, building a bridge through the digital waves. Every call sign has a story, every voice has a place, every signal carries memories across time and space. And we're still here across the airwaves, keeping alive the dream you made. Through every repeater, every connection, every new operator finding direction. Though your key went silent, your spirit remains, your voice still echoes through the bands again. From coast to coast, the message is strong. Digitally, the signal carries on.
Well, one of my favorite activities anyways, so it can be anything POTA related, you know, your antennas, your setup, you know, favorite parks or places to go, your Go box or blogging software, really anything, just POTA related. Let me reset again here. Tell you that I don't really have a favorite park. I've really only activated one, and that would be Ray Roberts. So I can't say that I have a favorite yet, but I do have somewhat of a favorite setup. I love my Go box. You know, it's got my computer, it's got everything in it, it's got a long enough battery to work all day or even an overnight. And I'm a chameleon antenna fan, so I've been using mainly the Impasse 2.0, but I think my next one I'm going to take out their tactical Delta Loop. I want to set that thing up on something and see how it does out there in POTA. It works great here at the house. So, but those are my preferences. And let's go. Hey, who wants to be the first check-in for today's Digitally Speaking Net? Once again, this is Brandon, KJ5LXS, that's Kilo Juliet 5, Lima X-Ray Sierra, and I'll be your net control operator. And in the beginning, let's just come with those one by one. I'm still learning the phonetic alphabet, so it takes me a second. So let's just start with one. We maybe will progress later on during the net. But let's come with our first check-in for today's Digitally Speaking Net.
So, Juliet 5, November, Golf, Juliet, James and Flower Mound.
Hey, James, how's it going today? Hey, come again with your call sign real quick. You cut off in the very beginning, and then it messed my whole flow was screwed up. So, come again with the call sign.
That's Kilo Juliet 5, November, Golf, Juliet. I say again, Kilo Juliet 5, November, Golf, Juliet. Did you get that, QSL?
Sir, I got it that time. Thank you for thanks for the assist on that. So, what's going on in your ham world today? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Just looking for another radio. Can't have too many radios. I've learned pretty quick that I love my 991A, but it's not a portable radio. So I think I'm planning on buying an 891 here in the next couple of months eventually. That's what's going on in my ham world. Made a bunch of contacts last night with a quasi rag chew session that I did on 20 meters. But let me break for the repeater real quick. let me go and do the net topic for you. I've done one POTA, so my experience is not very extensive, but we activated Lake Ray Roberts last weekend, and that was very fun. Did that, got 12 contacts. I love having 100 watts of radio power. Loved the antenna that KJ5LLO brought out, Edgar. I think it's the JC10. Great antenna. So I might pick one of those up or something similar to it for POTA. But yeah, I love POTA. I've gotten hooked, and I'll probably doing it a lot more once it cools down in the next couple of months. Anyways, this is Kilo Juliet 5, November Golf Juliet. Giving it back to you, KJ5LXS. Thank you for running the net.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. And but you just got that 991, and I do want to mention that I've seen a lot of people put that radio into some sort of a Go kit. I've seen them use those Gator boxes, which work really, really well. And I've seen a lot of people put that into a Go kit. And I will throw this out there: if you need some help with that, I'm more than happy to help you configure or wire up or come up with a good game plan for that. And if there's anybody else out here that's got a good suggestion for a box for that 991, you just got it. How can you already be looking at another radio? KJ5LXS.
Well, I think I have a problem. I'm going to be the first one to admit. No, how I do operations and how I think I'm going to do it in the future is this 991 is going to be my base station radio, and I love having dedicated radios for dedicated purposes. So I think, and I'm not talking about buying it like right now. It's gonna be a couple months when I buy my 891. But I'm gonna activate a ton of more parks with my 991 here. But yeah, I love the 991 for base station. But I know you can put it in Go boxes, but I don't know. That's just me. I love having little small radios and radios for their own purposes. But anyways, this is Kilo Juliet 5, November Golf Juliet, getting back to net.
Yep, nope, that makes total sense. I feel the same way. Unfortunately, I don't really have a base station, so my Go box is my base station and my POTA and my overnighter and my whatever radio. So I totally get that. You can't have a nice, orderly, clean base station when you're constantly having to move that radio in and out and putting it into something and moving it over here and doing that. So I totally understand that. So let me ask you this. What kind of antenna configuration are you leaning towards when you start your little POTA adventure here?
Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Radioddity HF010, the HF10. It can tune. You can tune it all the way from 80 meters to 6 meters, and I've heard great things about it. And the kit comes with everything. It literally it comes with the tape measure. It comes with the coax. It comes with the BNC adapter. Everything you could want, all in one package, and it's only like $250, which is a little pricier in, but all in one package, I'm willing to pay a little more for it. Back to you.
That's a great choice. I see those out there all the time, and people use them, and they swear by them. You can get them on Amazon a lot of times next day delivery, so that's I love anything that I can buy free shipping and next day delivery with no extra charge. So I totally understand. All those are great reasons, and we look forward to seeing you more often here at the POTA events. Anyways, let's. Do you have anything else for the net before I move on? KJ5LXS.
Nothing more for the net. I did have a question. I was looking on the Digitally Speaking website, and I've been doing a lot of net control for Dakara, and I was wondering, and you might mention this later, so I don't mean to jump the gun, but how do I become a net control operator and running this net? Other than that, you're doing a great job. Love hearing you out there, and hope to see you soon at either a meeting or a POTA activation. But anyways, I'll get it back to you and let you take some more check-ins and answer my question.
Well, that's no problem. Here, actually, I was going to hop in the pool, so if you just wanted to take over the net today, I'm all for it. I was going to hop in the pool and crack open a beer. No, I'm just kidding. Nope, we do have it noted, and we will send you out the information that you need to become a net control operator for the Digitally Speaking net. And I think that's great. Thank you so much. That's awesome. We could always use more people. And just a side note here, if there's anybody else out there that would like to be the net control operator for the Digitally Speaking net, I know all of us that do it would greatly appreciate the backup and the support. It's a very easy net. We have a script that's updated. Let me reset here. It's updated daily, and it's pretty accurate, and it's a super easy net to do. Like Bentley says, if he can do it, anybody can do it, and I truly believe that, because if Bentley can do it, anybody can do it. So, but thank you. We'll get you over some information, and yeah, well, welcome to the team. So let me reset here again real quick.
Rio.
Come on, Bentley, bring it.
And then tell him the email address to send his name and email and call sign and stuff too, so we can get him. Casey4EL back to net.
Well, I would do that if I knew what it was, Bentley. Do you know where is it here on the thingamabobber? How far do I have to scroll down?
Send an email to Digitally Speaking net, all one big long spread out, at gmail.com, and Brandon is at almost the very bottom of the script. Casey4EL back to net.
I got it. It's yeah, like he said, it's all one word, Digitally Speaking at gmail.com. So send an email over there with your information, and we'll get you added to the roster. And like I said, if anybody else out there is interested in doing this, it's a fun net. Me personally, it's by far my favorite net out of all of them. My second favorite, I guess, at this point would be the Young Hams net every day at 5 o'clock on this repeater. So, but anyways, let me reset again. Again, today's topic is POTA, antennas, radios, go-boxes, favorite parks, whatever. I don't care. Who wants to be the next check-in on today's Digitally Speaking net?
November Echo 5, Golf Tango, Greg and Denton.
Well, what's up, Greg? How are you doing today? It's good to have you home and be back. It was good to see you at breakfast yesterday, so always a pleasure seeing your bubbly and smiling face all the time. Well, what do you got going on today, buddy?
Trying to stay in the shade. We're in the garage right now, just kind of waiting for the Ranger game to come on. And, hey, I was out in Lubbock last weekend. I know you were doing a POTA out at Ray Roberts. And I heard you way down in the dirt and put on all my filters and everything, and I could hear you. But came back to you several times, and obviously you didn't hear me. I was in my truck with the 891 and the ATAS, so not a pretty good compromised antenna. But anyway, I did make a contact with W5JK that day, and I also heard N5GG. He didn't hear me. Again, I was out in Lubbock, Texas. You guys were in Ray Roberts. So I can't wait till the October W5LVC Lara outing in Oklahoma. We're going to hit 5 parks. Any 5GT, back to you.
Thanks for that, and I'll drop that announcement since it was mentioned. But October 17th and 18th, the Louisville Club will be going down to Raymond Gray State Park in Oklahoma, and there's 5 state parks within a 20-mile radius, and we're going to try to hit all of those in the 2 days. I'll be going down Friday, so I'll be the 16th, 17th, and 18th, and a bunch of people are doing that, but they had some cabins. They're all taken now, but anyways, but yeah, the Louisville Club will be doing that. Let me reset. Greg, let me ask you today's question. POTA. I know you do a lot of POTA activations. What's your take? What's your favorite setup? Your mode? Your SSB digital? What's your favorite antenna setup? I know that you won the Mobile Go Kit Challenge last year, so that's probably got to be one of them. Anyways, what do you got on that?
Any 5GT. Yeah, I like antennas that are easy to set up, and I'll just leave it at that. None of them are difficult. Just some of them take a little bit more attention and meticulous, detail. I use a hitch. I mount a tube to my hitch that goes vertical and put in a telescoping pole at 33. Usually come off that with an end fed, but getting ready to come off that with a flat dipole. Maybe inverted V, but I've got some other things going to where I want to try to make it a flat dipole and do what N5GG does. He likes to have discrete length wires tuned to to each band, and I'm going to try to copy that. Other than that, I like to go out and maybe pound out an activation in FT8 and then switch over to sideband and get both. Still practicing on CW, but someday I'll get the triple play. Any 5GT.
Full play. I like it. That's what I'm going to start calling it. But yeah, no, that's awesome. And sometimes you never can tell on the how the bands are going to work out for the day when you pack up and you go out there and the bands aren't working. So I definitely like digital. You can kind of most of the time you can guarantee your quick 10 contacts so you can make sure you get the activation, and then spend the rest of the time on SSB and kind of do the fun POTA stuff, the actual talking to people and making contacts and stuff. But anyways, do you have anything else you want to add to the net before I move on to the next person?
5GT. Yeah, I know your pool's probably pretty comfortable, so what's on the grill tonight? No, I'm just kidding. You don't need to go into that. Hey, Brandon, you're doing a great job running this net. This net is awesome every week, and I'm going to say 7-3 to everybody. Any 5GT clear back to net.
All right, well, thank you, buddy, and I agree with you 100%. This is out of all the nets that I'm involved in, and I seem to be on one all the time, this is by far my favorite. But let me reset here real quick. Sorry. Give some shout outs to our supporting clubs. We have the Denton, I believe it's their repeater that we're using, the Denton County Amateur Radio Association. That's W5NGU on the 146.92 with a negative offset and a PL tone of 110.9. And AllStar is 41087. Their website is www.dakara.net. And also the Richardson Wireless Club. That's W5RWK at 147.12 with a positive offset and a PL tone of 110.9. AllStar is 47841, and that's W5RWK.org. All right. So, let me reset. Who would like to be the next person on the Digitally Speaking Net? It's Sunday afternoon. The weather is spectacular. The pool water is shockingly cold today, which is so nice. Beautiful day, minimal wind, sun shining, birds are singing. Who wants to be next on today's Digitally Speaking Net?
Number 5, Golf.
Yes, sir. N5 Golf. How are you doing today, sir?
I am doing peachy. Everything that you said is absolutely true, especially regarding the cool water close to the pool. Was already in there today, about to go in there once again. And doing good here. And I heard you guys talking about me, so of course the devil had to jump into the conversation. Back to N5GG, Colin in Louisville, Texas.
So, you know, Greg made a good point when he was talking about your antenna setup that you have there. And I personally found it was fascinating when I saw how you had that stuff laid out at field day, and you had one setup for each band. I thought that was spectacular. You did it in a very economical way, very inexpensive, and you always seem to make a lot of contact. So it must be working for you. Talk to me about that.
Let's talk about that. Before that, let me just, since Greg made the announcement there for the October outing in Oklahoma, so we took care of that, let me just do a brief plug-in for our PODA outing next weekend at Cedar Hill. So Saturday morning until Saturday, probably at around 1 or 2 p.m., we, the Lara Club, W5LVC, we are going to do another PODA activation from Cedar Hill. And apparently a lot of people already confirmed they're going to be showing up almost, and let's see which bands pop up. So that is for next weekend. If you want to join us, please come. If you want to work us, please try to work us while we are out there. Let me break. Let's talk about all good things for a station doing PODA. Brandon, as you well know, I'm a tinkerer. I like to experiment different things, and over the years I have played with NFAT antennas. I have played with a collection of verticals. I have played with my collection of dipoles, and in the end of the day, the best result for me, taking into consideration time to set up and also efficiency of the antenna, I am a firm believer that the dipole, the resonant dipole for each band, is the best solution for me. As I say, let me emphasize the for me part, because other people have different opinions, have different tastes, and that's absolutely fine. So I tend to get the very, very good results doing that. I am a QRP guy, so I'm always using my QRP rigs, doing CW. That helps because I'm using less bandwidth to send my signal out. So QRP actually worked well for me. But yes, dipoles, resonant dipoles that I, in a inverted V format, that I actually put out on either my 27-foot MFJ pole or my 33-foot European carbon fiber mast. And Brandon, I know that you have the same one. That is my go-to configuration when it comes to PODA. Any additional questions, please just ask. Back to you, Brandon. This is November 5, Golf.
And I don't have any more additional questions, and I will open it up to the group if they have any. But I remember field day. That was my first field day to be operating and have a station. And if anybody that came out there and saw my setup, you will know that I really, really, really overpacked. I brought everything that I owned, and I had 10 duffel bags and 4 suitcases, and then a travel trailer full of stuff. But man, Collins was sweet. It was like one little box, and they had everything was just set up, and it was right there. It was like you could carry it like in a carry-on bag, and it was all the antennas, all the band. It was so organized and put away. I felt embarrassed about my setup, but anyways, let me reset. I was taken back just by the simplicity of your setup and the number of contacts that you make when you go out, and the ease of all of it, really. And man, it made me think I was doing something not right. But I do love my setup, and I'm getting more familiar with it, and I'm growing to love it more and more every day. But anyways, thank you so much, Colin. And does anybody out there have any questions for Colin before I move on? KJ5LXS. All right, nothing heard there, so let's move on. Who wants to be the next on the digitally speaking net? Who wants to come now with your call sign? Let's do this.
Kilo 3 Juliet Romeo Zulu Jeff.
Kilo 3 Juliet Romeo Zulu Jeff, correct?
K3JRZ.
What's up, my dude? How are you doing today? What's going on in your world?
Well, I was just scanning around AllStar and I heard someone mention POTA. No, I was waiting for the net to start a little bit, and nice topic. One of my favorites, I've been taking notes, and I'll probably take more notes as I listen and do other stuff at the same time, but just wanted to mention a few things. I do love Parks on the Air. The first gentleman mentioned the FT991A was really not for portable. Well, it is kind of big. I used one when I started off, and eventually I let the magic smoke out and got an FT DX10. But carrying that thing up and down 3 flights of stairs to go out, and then 3 flights of stairs to go back when you come back home, when I came back home, gets old after a bit. And I'm not sure about his QTH situation, but yeah, nothing wrong with a smaller radio. I got a few QRP radios and an 891, and they're a lot easier to carry around and travel with. Let me break for a second. Antennas is kind of like a mixed bag. I kind of believe whatever you have with you and that works, meaning you could send and receive, and other people can hear you, and you can send to them, and it's all good. My idea about antennas is I've been stuck in a rut for a few years with ham sticks, mostly out of the fact that I have a limited amount of time when I go activate, so I want to get up and get on the air as quick as possible. I don't want to be messing around with tuning antennas and lengthening and shortening different parts of the antenna, so I have all mine pre-tuned, and the best way to do that is you leave the nut inside or the whip inside the locking nut, and just unscrew the base of it, or the lower half, the black part, from the whip, and the two separate. You just store them together, and you just put them back together, and then you're on the air, ready to go with whatever band. But whatever antenna really works. I've been trying a few different antennas. I got a bunch more to play with, so that should be fun. I just need more time to actually have so I could play with them in case anything happens or it takes longer to tune them or whatever. K3 Jersey.
That's interesting. I did not know that you could do that with a ham stick. So, my dad passed away about a year and a half ago, and one of the projects that he was working on before he left before he got, too sick to where he couldn't work on antennas anymore, was the Chameleon Spider, which has 8 ham sticks. And so when we were going through all of his stuff, I grabbed that and I was like, I want to tune that up and get it set up and use it here at the house. Let me reset here. So I've got these 8 ham sticks that connect to this thing. Man, I have the hardest time figuring out where to put those things because I don't want to mess with the stinger length or whatever because I don't know where he left it or if it was already tuned or not. So I don't want to mess with it, so I've just had them, but I did not know that you could separate the other part. That would be super helpful. So I think I learned something today, and I think I can shave a lot of room off my wall space trying to hang up 8 ham sticks. It's all those different bands. But anyways, I do appreciate it. What else you got going on, Jeff?
Well, let me just mention about the ham sticks. Yeah, I never understood why someone would loosen up the whip and then push it into the black base of it, and because you're losing the tuning of it when you do that. And supposedly you could put a Sharpie marker, a mark on there with a Sharpie that is, and so you have it, but that eventually wears away unless you mark it every few times you use it. Then yeah, it's going to be there, but I wouldn't count on it. I guess just the way my brain thinks, I noticed that the 2 parts came apart, so I was like, well, I don't have to push the whip into the black base of it, just separate the 2 pieces, and there you go. I was looking for different ways to carry them, and I eventually stumbled across a multi-fishing pole bag by a company called Laxada. I think it was Laxada on Amazon, and it had different compartments for fishing rods, and I just put the 2 parts for each ham stick into one sleeve, and it kind of worked out. Although I haven't seen where that haven't seen that bag on Amazon for a while, but I'm sure there's probably a few other options available to keep all your banded or all the ham sticks for the same band together. So glad I found that. Everything else, I'm working on a video now, second part of my antenna review of the Reydio HF-101 antenna. I think I might be slowing down a little bit. I had a family thing happen yesterday. I don't know how that's going to affect my free time coming up. So one day at a time, that's all we can do. Eventually all the projects sitting on my desk will be gotten to. Just been pushed back a little bit, so we shall see. K3 Jersey, back to net control.
Well, it sounds like a fun project, and I hope everything's going okay for you over there. But yeah. And you said you mentioned a video. What kind of video are you doing? Like a YouTube or something like that?
Yeah, I'm on the YouTubes. Just search for my call sign K3 Jersey. It's actually listed on the Digitally Speaking Net website also, underneath all the other hand tubers that are on there. I did a video 2-3 weeks ago about the Reydio HF-010 antenna. Nice antenna, I liked it. It was a little bit long with me setting it up and talking about it, and then my discoveries with it after the fact that I did my activation. So I split the video into 2 different parts. One with the antenna when I talk about it and set it up and break it down, and the other one is the QSOs from it. I like doing the QSOs because everyone loves to hear what they sound on the other end of the of the activation. So I do that, plus it's documenting the fact that I did talk to these people. We did exchange call signs, signal reports, and sometimes park numbers, and said 73 to each other. So there's that there for I like to have that evidence there. But yeah, all kinds of stuff. I'm pretty sure I did some videos on the hand sticks and the hand stick bag that I have. They might have been incorporated with other videos, but they're out there. K3 Jersey.
No, that sounds like a great idea. I'm going to start recording all of my activations, and I wonder if I can just submit that in. Be like, hey, you know, I didn't take a lot of notes. I recorded it. You guys can just put it in there however you want, but here's my proof. I don't know. I don't know if they would accept that as an appropriate file type. But anyways, no, that's a great idea, and I'll go to the website and go to your page. Let me reset here real quick. And I feel almost embarrassed that I did not mention this earlier. Speaking of YouTube, we have Sean, KX7WTF. He hosts a live stream of this net on most weeks. Every week is an impossible task, but he is hosting it today on a live stream on YouTube, and you can find his channel at WTF.Reydio. And that's REYDIO. And you can see a live stream of today's digitally speaking net on Sean's YouTube page. So sorry, didn't mean to piggyback off somebody else's YouTube, but I forgot, and that made me remember. So yeah, there we go.
Not a problem. Sean's a good guy. That's how I found you guys. He was doing a live stream and gave me the AllStar link information, so I've been checking in for a few months now and been enjoying it a lot. Forgot what I was going to mention, but yeah, that's it. I'll send it back to Net Control. K3 Jersey.
Well, man, I appreciate it, Jeff, and like I said, I'll hop over there and go to your site and at least give you a follow and a couple likes and watch some of your videos. So, who would like to be the next check-in for today's Digitally Speaking Net? This is Brandon, your net control operator at Kilo Juliet 5, Lima X-Ray Sierra. Who would like to be next?
5, Romeo,
Foxtrot, Sierra, Quebec, Joe and Frisco. We had a double there, and I got you, Joe. I didn't grab the call sign, but who came before Joe?
5, Romeo, Sierra, X-Ray, David.
Hey, David, how are you doing today? Did you get them jet skis out at all this weekend? Enjoy some of this beautiful heat advisory type weather we get here in North Texas?
Tried this morning, and yeah, we killed Sam's battery last weekend. I tried to bring it back, and she's deader than a doornail, so I got to get that battery warrantied out, and I guess we'll be up for next weekend. But yeah, usually get up there to the park, and in the mornings there's a whole lot of parks on the air stations, so we normally try to activate in between the time we're launching the skis and the time we pick them up. And a couple weekends ago, let me break. Weekends ago, we hit a few parks on the air stations that had multiple operators. So there was like 2 to 3 operators per station. So it made it really fast to activate the park and get out on the skis and enjoy the lake.
Right. Well, we went out there a couple weeks ago. We had 5 in our group, and so the people on the other end of that were just like, heck yeah, we just wiped out 50% of our log on one contact here. So that was awesome. So, David, let me ask you this: what's your go-to or your favorite POTA? You know, today's topic is POTA. So, what do you got on the subject or the topic? Antenna, go box, whatever, doesn't matter. Jet skis, go for it.
Actually, about, I want to say maybe a year and a half ago, I bought this Hustler antenna for 20 meters, and it came as a short stick, and I tried throwing it on my truck, and the SWR was always terrible on it, so I went to the ham sticks, and lo and behold, I'm supposed to have a mast in front of that antenna prior to the Hustler antenna. So last week, Sam brought home the mast that belongs with that antenna. And I was like, holy macaroni sauce. So let me break. I've been searching for that antenna for a week, and I could not put my hands on it. And finally, yesterday morning, I found it. I assembled it, threw it on the truck, and, man, does it work better than a ham stick. I'm just tickled pink that it's getting out there. So KI5RSX, back to you.
Very, very nice. Man, what a great son to bring you home the mast that goes with your antenna to figure out all the problems. What a good little champion there.
Minus the fact that we lost the antenna. But it ended up in the back of my truck, buried underneath some military masts, so that was my fault for putting it there.
Happens all the time, you know. Sometimes I just want to send an email or a text message to everybody I know that says, hey, you know, I was just using my electrical tape like 5 minutes ago, and I set it down. Does anybody happen to know where I set it down at? Because I know it's here, but anyways. Well, what else is going on with you, David?
Not too much. I guess we're messing with a repeater system. The repeater works great. Duplexer, I guess Thursday, Sam and one of his mentors went and rewired the whole duplexer, and I guess we've got a combiner, which is basically like a T, but it should combine the signals, and it's supposed to show up today, so we might get over there and plug it in the next couple of days and run some tests on it before we launch it up in Cook County. KI5RSX, back to net.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Well, I'm hoping it shows up today and you guys get over there to help figure that, or, you know, get it all up and running and working. I'll be more than happy to talk on your repeater anytime you want. KK5LXS. Do you have anything else for the net today, David?
You're running it, and yeah, POTA on. KI5RSX.
POTA on. All right, Joe, come again, but come with your call sign once more, because I didn't pick it up. I know who you are, but I didn't pick up your call sign.
Kilo Juliet 5, Foxtrot Sierra, Quebec.
What's going on with you, Joe? How's everything going in your world? And I know you just got back from like a huge road trip, vacation type thing.
Yeah, I was out traveling the eastern side of the United States for 2 weeks and put in just under 5,000 miles, and long trip. But another thing is, I ran across, you're talking about POTA, I ran across a video today on YouTube. A guy by the call sign K5EC, John Bonica, has put out a video that he just completed POTAs in every Texas park. So take a look at that. It's kind of cool. It's about 8 minutes, and he talks about a story, and it's all set to music, so kind of neat.
K5EC, Kilo 5 Echo Charlie?
Is correct. Yes, that is correct. And like I say, he talks about a lot of the activations, but it's all set to music. It's about an 8-minute video, and it was kind of neat. He's got a lot of pictures and a lot of handouts to the people who helped him. It's titled something about the award they ain't made yet for POTA. So
very interesting. Does anybody else? Not anyone else. How many parks are available for POTA in the state of Texas? How many do we have?
According to him, 221. And I know that's kind of small for how big the state is compared to some of the other states like Florida, but like I say, that's a pretty good accomplishment to get around. So, all right, back to net. That's all I got.
Well, that's awesome. And yes, 291 for a state this size. That's crazy. But you're not going to get off the hook that easy, Joe. So we're talking about POTA today. You can't just throw out somebody else's YouTube link and expect that to satisfy the net control. So what's your go-to? What's your setup? What are you going to do when we go next month to Cedar Hill? What are you setting up, Joe? Talk to me, Goose.
I'll probably bring my little radio and set it up and then take critiques on it, which I know you're good at that. So I'll imagine you'll be able to point out things that I can correct and assist and make things better. So I strive to be up to your level. So KJ5 FSQ, back to net.
On that, we all have to have goals, Joe. And if there's something I'm good at, it's critiquing someone else's stuff. Yeah, hey, don't do it to me though. You better not do it to my stuff, because my stuff is probably as close to right as I could make it. But anyway, just kidding. Well, thank you, Joe. And yeah, let's move on. Who wants to be the next check-in for today's Digitally Speaking Net? Conversation today is POTA.
Kilo India 5, Victor Uniform Zulu, Zach in Denton.
Well, what's up, Zach? How are you doing today? Talk to me. What's going on in your world?
No, doing well over here. Just working through some radio issues, some technical difficulties. So that's always fun. Very thankful for the functions of ChatGPT. So help me out today. But I got a little confused on some menu stuff, and so was able to take some pictures and upload that. And it's amazing how all that stuff works now. But anyway, yeah, doing good. Getting ready to head off to college at Texas Tech there. And I like the topic today of POTA. Probably going to hit a POTA later this week.
Oh, very, very nice. So when do you head off to, when are you leaving for Tech?
Yeah, I leave on Friday.
Got your whoopee all packed away? Your teddy bear? You got all your stuff you need for the trip? You going to be okay?
Yep, going to be all good. Got my security blanket and all of that stuff, got to have all the good comforts of home, right?
I don't go anywhere without my favorite pillow and my whoopee. I can assure you of that, man. You can catch me on a plane, on the motorcycle, it doesn't matter. I've got my pillow and my whoopee with me. Anyway, so we're talking about POTA. So you said you're going to go do one maybe this week or before you head out of town. What are you going to What you going to set up? How are you going to do this? Talk to me. Tell me what you got going on.
Yeah, so right now I run a Yaesu FT891 in a Armalock frame. I run that off of, it's actually a pretty small 10 amp hour battery, but should, give me a couple hours of POTA time, hour and a half too. Probably will take just like a 20-meter dipole probably this time. Pretty simple. Bare bones, nothing crazy. I like to log on paper for POTA. For me, it's just a lot faster and, never run out of batteries. Paper never overheats in the sun or anything like that. So, pretty simple setup, but that's kind of how I like to do it.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, paper is, it's always easier until you remember there was like little details, right? Like you got to write down so much stuff, frequency and times and all that. And I'm like, man, I think I'm old enough to love paper, but still young enough at heart to appreciate a good logging software. But for keeping it light, that's definitely the way to do it. A lot of people do paper, and to be honest with you, a lot of times I just write it down and then log it in after the call. So, because I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, no. Let me reset. And Zach, I wish you the best of luck at Tech, and college it's a feat, and it's a challenge, and it's all of the above. And I wish you the best of luck, and I know you've got this, and you're going to be able to do it. And you better bring home A's. I want to see your report cards. End of every semester, better all be A's. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, yes, sir, will do for sure, and appreciate the words there, and yeah, definitely looking forward to it. So appreciate you running the net today. I'll say 7-3. Have a great rest of your day. Stay cool. And this is KI5VUZ throwing it back to net control.
Sir, yes, sir, and thank you very much for checking in today. And for everybody that's checked in today, I really appreciate it. The Nets kind of they're always go into it with the notion that this is going to be tough, and how am I going to talk to all these people? They know so much more about radios than I do, and but then when I get on here and I just start talking to everybody, it just sinks home, and man, I really enjoy it. So I just wanted to say thank you for everybody that's checked in, for everybody that's going to check in, and for everybody that's just out there listening. Let me reset here. And speaking of college, I wanted to say thanks to the Texas A&M College, W5AC, as being one of the stations that we're linked up to here, and I see all this stuff on here, and I don't know what any of that stuff means. So looks like 146.82, the negative offset, and a PL tone of 88.5, whatever. Anyways, you guys know where it is. Look it up on the website. And then we also have the Lake Area Amateur Radio Club. Yeah, so that's where we're going with that. Those are some of the announcements. Let's move on with another check-in for today's Digitally Speaking Net. This is Brandon, KJ5LXS, and I'm your net control operator. And today's topic is POTA. So who would like to be next?
Hey, this is Kilo Juliet 5, Lima Lima Oscar, Edgar and Hickory Creek.
What's up, Edgar? How are you doing today? Have you been out? Have you done any more POTAs since weekend before last?
Are doing pretty good, and thanks for running the net. I want to actually start with that. You're doing an awesome job. And no, last time I did POTA was actually with you guys, with Sam, David, James, and you. Right now I'm actually on lockdown. I'm studying for the test. I'm going to take the test on Thursday. Programmed the exam already, so I'm going to be taking it at 4 o'clock on Thursday. And hopefully be general, and I can celebrate doing POTA. Back to you.
Edgar, you got this. It's, it's a lot of questions, it's a lot of answers, but you've got this. I know you can do it. If there's anybody out there that can do that, I know it's you. I've got 100% faith in your ability to pass that test. And if you don't tell anybody. You can't tell your friends. Nobody on this, you can't tell anybody if you don't pass it. Just take it again and then mention it later. That's all I'm saying. KJ5LXS.
Copy that. I've been postponing this because of personal reasons. There was a death in the family. I was going to take it, and I have to actually put it aside, but I think it's time already. And once I actually get this clear, I'm going to study for the next level and get it done so I can actually get rid of it. Looking forward to it. Been studying since the morning and been getting good results, so I'm happy about that. And let me reset. Topic about POTA, man. I love POTA, man. It's a good concept. Especially when you do it with people, it's fun. And even if you're doing it by yourself. I think the first time I activated a park, yes, it was actually in a park in Garland with the Louisville area amateur club. And I was actually able to activate a park there, and it's fun. I'm looking forward to actually get the general so I can get my kid and everything and go to Lake Ray Hubbard's and do some more contacts and stuff like that. So I can actually kind of go on the weekend, spend some time with the family, and do radio at the same time. KJ5L, back to you.
That's good stuff, good stuff. And just, if you didn't hear earlier, next Saturday is Louisville's monthly POTA event, and we are going to Cedar Hill State Park. So if you'd like to tag along with that, we'll be going right after breakfast and cruising out there and activating that park. So you're more than welcome to come. But let's go back to the topic of today. So let me break for the repeater again. We went out there a couple weeks ago and we set up that 991A, but we used your antenna. So tell me about that. Is that your go-to POTA antenna? Tell me about that setup. It seemed to work pretty good.
That's the one that actually I use at home. What I like about that antenna is that it's very easy to set up and very easy to take it off. It's very portable. I think the guys were actually surprised that I actually just took a little bag and then I pull everything up. And it was actually really easy to set up. I got the measurements already, so I don't have to actually kind of worry too much about SWR. Kind of have an idea where to actually put the topper part of the antenna on what level and things like that in the coil. And if I lose a little bit of kind of reference, I go back into the instructions and kind of see where it goes. But it's a very efficient antenna. The other one that I'm trying to get is the Radiodity, the HF010. I got a couple of friends that have been telling me that antenna is really good, and it's very similar to the setup that I have. And I got another one, but I think that's actually more for the house. It's a Vertex antenna, and but I think that JCP 12, it's affordable. It's like I think it's like $125 that I pay for it. So it's a good way to actually get started. And looking to actually get another radio, maybe like a GX90 or something like a Yaesu FT891. So I'm kind of contemplating getting those radios. So, but good antenna. I recommend it a lot. And I think you guys, I don't know, tell me what you think about it. Back to you.
wasn't there when you set it up, but it seemed to be working great, and everybody liked it. And I do love the fact that it packs down that little bitty briefcase. Like, you get that whole thing in that one little bitty bag, and it comes with it. It's a great little antenna, and I see a lot of people use it. But the radiology one, that one seems to be a hit as well. I don't know much else about. I've never used either one of them, but they pop up on my YouTube feeds, and they're everywhere, and I'll watch the videos on them, and they seem to be really good antennas. I don't really know where to go from that. Does anybody else have any words of wisdom or anything when it comes to the radiology antennas?
And then one last comment before actually I break with the net. Do you know something I really like about the antenna, that Radiolity, the HF010 that has a tripod? I think the only disadvantage that I have with the antenna that I have to actually kind of spike it. And like if you're in an area where you can't spike the antenna, that's when it becomes a little bit of kind of trouble. But besides that, I really love it, man, and I'm looking forward to actually get that done on Thursday. Yes, I'm actually going to get that 891. I'm going to follow Sean's recommendation. I want something a little bit more portable than the 710. And have fun, man. Have fun and keep growing in the hobby, man. And once again, Brendan, you're doing an excellent job, man. So kudos to you, and to Zach, also good luck in your university. It kind of brought me flashbacks when I went to college, kind of like when I started, so that's pretty awesome. So anyways, this is KJ5LL, 7-3 to everybody, and enjoy the Sunday. Back to net.
Much appreciated, Edgar. It's always good to hear you on here. You do a good job with these nets, and it's always good to hear you on here. But so, who would like to be the next person on the Digitally Speaking Net? Today's topic is POTA. Anything POTA, everything POTA, POTA on. So who would like to be the next check-in for today's Digitally Speaking Net?
GGH, man.
Oh man, that came through really scratchy, and I didn't pick up. To be honest with you, I didn't pick up any of it, but I heard it. But you were really scratchy. Come again, but a little bit slower, maybe.
Put right. King India 5 G.
Kilo India 5 Golf Hotel.
Yes, that's correct. That's it.
I feel like I've mastered the phonetic alphabet at this point. I mean, that was spot on. So, who am I talking to? What was your name, and where are you calling from?
This is Van. I'm in Spring County.
I think you said your name was Van, V-A-N, but we'll go with that. So, what's going on in your world today, buddy?
Really, nothing really. Just wanted to check in, that's it.
Well, we all certainly appreciate that. So today's topic is POTA. Do you get out there and do a lot of POTA, Van? And what's your go-to setup?
Well, I just wanted to check in, that's it.
No worries at all, and we appreciate that you did. And yeah, so well, let's let's move on. Who would like to be the next check-in for today's Digitally Speaking Net? This is Brandon, your net control operator, Kilo Juliet 5, Lima X-Ray Sierra. Who would like to be the next check-in?
Kilo X-Ray 7, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
KX7 WTF. Sean, what's going on, buddy? How's the live stream going?
The live streams are going good. We got a good little chat going on in the background, so always fun seeing that. So come check us out, WTF.Reydio. That's REYDIO on YouTube. We got a little thing going on TikTok as well, so either way, come check us out. And as always, thank you for running the net, Brandon. You're doing a fantastic job. Even though I'm kind of curious, you said something about flowers before the net started. So when are we going to talk about flowers?
So my original topic was going to be today your favorite flowers and soil conditions for planting flowers. That was going to be my topic, and then I switched it to POTA. But if anybody wants to talk about flowers, I'm all in. I don't know a whole lot, but I do think they are pretty. KJ5LXS. So, Sean, tell me, what's going on in your world? How are you doing? Do you have any announcements to make? Maybe involving antennas that could be used for POTA or anything like that? Do you have anything that you would like to announce today?
Any announcements we have? The Lark Christmas party will be December 5th. It will be at Rock House in the Colony. More details to come as far as tickets, pricing, and all that. That's the only thing I can fully announce right now. I'll leave it at that. Yep. KX7 WTF.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you checked in before I said it. So, but anyways, so today's topic is POTA. Sean, tell me, I know that you're a POTA machine. What's your go-to setup? What do you like to do? Where do you like to go? Antenna topics or anything, really? What do you got?
I definitely would not call myself a POTA machine. As far as the setup goes, I got a random wire and an ATOS for antennas to pair with my Yaesu 891. That's also the reason why I suggested it to Edgar to get one of those. That and because it has a, full 100 watts. Just go full power, right? It's just all set up in a backpack and a few external batteries, and off to the park I go. Of course, I do happen to put the ATOS onto a great device that another one of our great friends has designed called the Skyhook. So, that's always fun. KX7 WTF.
There's a device out there that we can put the ATOS on that can hook up to a mast. That's crazy. Is there anybody on here that would want to talk about that? Just asking random questions if there's something out there. Anyways, Sean, do you have anything else you'd like to add to the net?
No, I'll let him come on and talk about that. That's all I got. Again, as always, thanks for running the net, and we'll catch you later. KX7 WTF, back to net.
Sir, yes, sir, I appreciate that. And Yeah, and don't forget, he is live streaming this net on YouTube, and that's WTF.Reydio, R-E-Y-D-I-O. And you can go over there and watch it. You can watch any of the past nets that he's posted on there, just to get some context about what we do over here. But anyways, this is Brandon with Kilo Juliet 5, Lima X-Ray Sierra, and I am your net control operator for today. And do we have anyone else that would like to check into the net today? I didn't catch that. Come again. Maybe push the mic down a little bit before you just start talking straight into it. Maybe just give it a second.
Kilo, Charlie, 4, Echo, Lima.
Bentley, my one true love. Where have you been all day? You busted my chops before the net, and then you've ghosted me this whole time. I've been missing you. I almost started crying because you hadn't checked in yet.
I gave you some help at the start of the net. I've been listening to the whole thing. So my favorite flower is roses. And the soil conditions, they'll pretty much grow anywhere if you feed them a little bit and keep them healthy.
You pick those because you need them so often to stay out of trouble with your wife? Is that why they're? That would be the only reason I could think of, is that you would want to grow a whole bunch of roses, so that way you could, say I'm sorry in a very nice way.
The thing is, if you have them there, you can just walk them outside, and she can smell all the different kinds and types and colors, and then you don't have to buy them.
And if you don't cut them off and put them in a vase, you can just be like, hey, babe, I'm sorry. Now go out in the backyard, take a look around, and then come back in, and it's all forgotten, or even. That's what I would do.
That's it. I'm telling you, you're so smart. I'm just going to tell you that you're so smart. Hey, thanks for running the net. You've done a great job. That's all. KC4EL, back to net.
Well, I think it's obvious that I'm not going to let you off the hook that easy. So, I will give a thanks to Mr. Bentley, because he's the one that really helped me and took me out for my first POTA activation. And he walked me through it like I didn't know anything, because I didn't. And I've activated a few parks since, and I just would like to say thank you, Mr. Bentley, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. However, let me reset. I'm not going to let you off the hook that easy, because you, my friend, are a big-time POTA person. You love it. You love it more than anything, but even more than red roses. So what is your go-to setup when you're going to go out there and make all of those contacts? What's your setup? What are you doing?
The answer to that is it depends. And it always depends, You can't say this is the only thing, because if you say that, sure enough, you're going to get stuck. And it happens to the best of them. So, if I'm going just for a quick activation, get in, get out, just try to make a couple of contacts. Then Impasse 2.0 with a 25-foot whip on top of it is my go-to. So I guess that's the answer, right?
It's a good answer. It's a good answer. And it's a solid answer because that's been my go-to when I go out there and do it. This next time, I'm going to take out my tactical Delta loop. I'm going to try to set that up. I've heard a lot of good things about that in POTA, and it works really good here at the house, so I'm going to take that out there. But is there another antenna that you like to use when you go do POTA?
That's a good one you just named. It's in my POTA arsenal, and I can't remember who all was out there. We were out somewhere when our friend, and I won't call any names, but one of our friends was running APRS on a repeater, and it was great fun. Again, I wouldn't call his name, but we used a tactical Delta loop that day, and we talked several places in Europe. So, that puppy will talk, and, of course, we talked in the United States, too. So, that's a great antenna. If it's going to be for a few days in one spot, the portable hex is a great antenna. That doesn't go up very often. It's not for the quick and easy, let's go. It's for we're going to be here a while. Let's make sure we have something good going, KC4EL, back to net.
I've been looking at those, and I've been thinking about getting a hex beam here at the house, and I know that you got one that went up, I'm not going to say it went up easy, but, with my professional skills and what I bring to the table there, it was fairly easy, but anyways, no. But no, the hex beam, and I think they make, which one do you have? You said you have a portable hex beam. Which one is that?
That's the Buddy Hex. It's awesome. Next time we go out, we will set it up and bang it. It's just like a regular hex beam, but it's portable. Works like a champ. Hey, all those guys that we know that had that hex beam, and I got blessed with one, so I'm not taking the credit for that one. And, when we were putting that thing up, somebody lost part of their shoe in the process. I'm telling you, I've just been blessed with good folks.
Yeah, that's nuts. I can tell you that is the first time that something like that has happened to me. So we're up on Bentley's roof, right? I'm not saying that it was hot outside, but apparently the roof was hot enough to where it melted the glue that held the sole of my shoe on. So my sole came detached from my shoe, and it made it very difficult to maneuver around on the roof. So I'm just saying, it was hot, and that was the cry. I didn't even know that was something that could happen, and it makes me laugh. The shoes are still screwed up to this day. KJ5LXS.
Thanks for letting me participate. You've done a great job. KC4EL. Back to net control.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate it, Bentley. I appreciate the check-in. It's always good to hear your cheerful, motivating voice. I love it. Anyways, let me reset here before I move on to, we have some cool ham stuff coming up in our near future. So let me reset. We have coming up really soon, Hang on, I'm scrolling down this thing, so bear with me here. We have Hamfest. We have Huntsville. Huntsville is coming up. It's like it's next weekend. Next August 22nd. It starts at 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Sunday, August 23rd from 9 to 3 p.m. And I've never been to that Ham Expo, but I hear it's really good. Is there anybody else out? Well, let's just open it up to the group. Is anybody out there planning on going, or has ever been? Any good stories or good deals from the Huntsville Hamfest? KJ5LXS. All right, nobody's ever been. So, Scott, you're on your own on that one. Let's see here. We have meetings. Hang on. Let me club meetings. So we have Denton. The Denton County Amateur Radio Association, their club meeting is on the 4th Monday of every month, which is August 24th, so that would be next Monday, I believe, and it's held at 1 Courthouse Drive, Denton, Texas, 76208. Let me reset. We also have the Lake Area Amateur Radio Club. Their club meeting is on the second Tuesday of every month, which was last week, or was it the week before? I don't remember. But their next meeting is on September 8th, 2026, and that is at 6804 Main Street in the Colony. Used to be the old Blockbuster video building, and it's right next door to the public library. It's easy to find, and it's always a good meeting. Yeah, so those are some club announcements. We'll circle back to some more later. But for now, I want to talk some more POTA. So does anybody else want to check into today's Digitally Speaking Net so we can talk POTA? I'm trying to take notes here, guys, so I need to know what the best setup is. KJ5LXS, who's going to be next? Guys, here's the deal. If nobody checks in, then I'm just going to have to read off this script and give you guys announcements about breakfast and club meetings and all of those other things. And I'll do that if you want. But you've got this whole group of people, no telling how many people are out here listening right now. And we want to talk POTA. I want to talk POTA. So who wants to hear announcements, or who wants to check in to the Digitally Speaking Net and talk to me about POTA? This is KJ5LXS. Who wants to be next?
GCM.
It was really fast, and I did not catch any of it. So could you do it again, but just slow it down a smidge? Because I'm still learning this whole thing. So, come again.
Kilo. India. 5. Juliet. Charlie. Mike. How copy?
Nailed it. Man, what a stud. What was your name? Where are you calling from? I got the whole thing. Kilo, India, 5, Juliet, Charlie, Mike. What was your name? Where are you calling from?
Thomas in Grapevine. What do you want to talk about? Just be sure you're not being a PETA about POTA.
PETA. Like, right, like I know what I use the word PETA for is like pain in the, so is that what you meant?
Yeah, just be sure in pursuing POTA, you don't become a PETA about POTA. Fun play on words and phrases.
I like it, Thomas. I love a good play on words. So, tell me, what's going on in your world today? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, trying to get a Mashtastic rig up running, writing code plugs for DMR. I don't know a whole lot about parks on the air, but Dad was an Eagle Scout and I grew up a lot camping, so I guess I can talk about that's something I'm probably going to do once sometime here in the near future once it's a little less hot.
Those are all great things. So your dad was an Eagle Scout and you like to do camping. So, if I thought I had a really good question. Like, it was right there on the tip of my tongue, and then I lost it. So, tell me, what's your favorite parts about camping? Anyways, and if you're gonna start doing POTA when the weather cools down, so do you have an idea set up or what you want to do? Talk to me.
I haven't been camping in at least a decade, but grew up camping largely in Vinson State Park. We were there probably several times this summer. We either, did primitive or we would rent a cabin in the park. Never done the ham radio thing, but I'd probably be doing, just given you got a clear night sky, I'd probably combine doing PETA or POTA with AMSAT.
Very nice. Do you have a particular setup that you would like to lean towards or go to? So you've done a lot of camping way back in the day, but is there any parks around here in the DFW area that you'd like one over the other?
I haven't gotten to do a lot of day hiking since I got up to the Dallas area, so I don't know too much here. I can tell you, if you don't mind a bit of a drive, Enchanted Rock down near Austin is one of the best ones, and given the rocky terrain, you can get on some of that high ground. Man, all you need to do would be toss a long wire with a weight on the end of it down there and get a good arrow rig, and you could hit them high and low.
Very nice. Very nice. And so, Enchanted Rock near Austin. Austin's beautiful. So I ride motorcycles, so you got Austin and Marble Falls. Man, Marble Falls has got some beautiful riding. Then I think you have like the Twisted Sisters out there. I've never ridden that, but I know it's down there in the Austin area. So, but yeah. What else you got for us today, Thomas?
That's about it. I don't have a whole lot, but I thought I'd at least do my part to delay announcements and whatnot. It seemed my ham radio duty.
No idea how much I appreciate it. We can talk some more. So camping. Tell me, go to backpack or sleeping bag or pillow or comforter or whoopee.
Mentioned my dad was an Eagle Scout who served in the Army. Cots, occasionally we got some cheap sunbeds on clearance at Walmart, and that was about it. Otherwise, on the ground, no air mattress. We did it pretty rough, pup tent. Dad didn't want to get a dome tent. That was a little too bougie. So, but yeah, the best part was, though, normally my parents were very strict, and out in the wild is when I could get cut loose, go with friends. As long as we came back to campground, we weren't bleeding before dark. It was all good.
Very nice. And you know, I'm going to segue off into a completely different topic because I'm the net control operator and I can do that today. So, something I learned about just this year. So I like to do, I like to ride my motorcycle and I like to take long distance rides, right? Let me reset here. And come to learn, there is a Hoka, it's H-O-K-A, Hoka Hay Challenge. And it's been going on for, I think, the last 10, 11, maybe today might be day 12 or day 10, I don't know. It's been going on for several days, and you can if you go to the website hokahay.com, you can track the riders. But let me reset again. But this year it is a 11,000 miles, and you have a time limit of 14 days. You cannot use GPS, navigation. They give you turn-by-turn, old-school MapQuest directions at the starting line. You have no idea where you're going when you get there, and you have no idea about the route, right? Like, none of the information is shared to you until you get to the starting line, and they give you your directions. So it's 11,000 miles, up to 14 days. Let me reset. No GPS, no computers, no nothing, and primitive camping. You have to sleep within 10 feet of your motorcycle every night. And I can tell you that I've ridden 1,000 miles in as little as 18 hours. And I've ridden 1,250 miles in 25 hours. Let me reset. I've ridden 1,000 miles in 20 hours. However, all of those rides were a year to 9 months apart. I have never in my life thought about riding 11,000 miles in 14 days. That's almost 1,000 miles a day, no hotels, primitive camping next to your bike, no GPS, no nothing, and it has fascinated me. So fascinating, and I want to do it. I just don't know if I'm man enough to do it. Anyways, let me reset. Anybody on here knows someone that's done it or has ever heard of it before or wants to even comment on it? You're more than welcome to, but it took me back to the Eagle Scout comment that Thomas made and the sleeping, on the floor, tent, no air up mattress, nothing like that. Made me think about that because the challenge is going on right now as we speak, and it fascinates me. It's so awesome. Anyways, let me reset one more time. And I would like to throw in there if there's anybody else that would like to check in to today's Digitally Speaking Net. My name is Brandon, Kilo Juliet 5, Lima X-Ray Sierra. Today's topic is POTA. So come now with your call sign, and let's chat.
JCM recheck.
Come again, or go for it. Recheck. Verify.
We're talking parks on the air. It took me way back. I spent a little time in Amarillo a few decades ago. A little ways from there, you've got the Palo Duro Canyon State Park, and on the other end of the valley, you have Caprock Canyon. If I remember right, Caprock is the one that has a lot of motorcycle ride-in things, and there's that Lighthouse Rock Formation, highest point on the horizon. It's a 4-mile hike, but I think there is an ATV Jeep trail that could lickety-split you up there. I'm wondering if anybody's ever, tossed a lead up there or something, or, you put a fish weight on a long wire and end fed and tossed it up on that thing. That's got to be a heck. It's perfect starlight conditions out there. There's no natural light. Oh, man. Now I'm getting curious what you could do with whatever kind of ham rig out there. That sounds like some fun.
It does. That sounds awesome. So, does anybody have any comments on that? That sounds fascinating. I'm all up. I'm dying to figure out a way to get a radio on my motorcycle, so I can hit the 291 state parks in Texas from the bike, primitive camping, doing the whole thing. Not in one trip, obviously, but yeah. Does anybody have any comments on that? I think you said Paladoma State Park and Caprock, I think. But who's got some thoughts on that?
It's Palo Duro State Park. That's at the north end of the Palo Duro Canyon, and at the south end is Caprock Canyon. Palo Duro is the larger of them. It's about a half hour outside of Canyon, Texas, not too far from Amarillo.
Anybody else? Anybody out there want to chime in, make some comments, help me out here? All right, nothing heard. So, let's circle back to some announcements. Let's go to breakfast. Oh, man, we all love breakfast. So, Lark, they do their breakfast Saturdays at 8 a.m., and they do the first Saturday of every month. They go to Cowboys Restaurant in Lake Dallas, and that is at 219 Main Street in Lake Dallas, 75065. And I believe they've been bouncing around an idea of picking, they do the first and the third week of every month. So the first Saturday, the third Saturday of every month. The first Saturday goes to the Cowboys, and I think they've been bouncing around an idea of maybe going the third one to what is the name of that place? Hang on, let me reset. The Cracker Barrel, that's it. The Cracker Barrel over off 380, the new one there. But anyways, that was it. We have Laura. Their breakfast, Louisville, it's at First Watch. It's every Saturday. This month it's at every Saturday at 8 a.m. and I believe it's Flower Mound at First Watch. Anyways, so that concludes my announcements for today. Was there anybody else that would like to check into today's Digitally Speaking Net before we close this bad boy down?
Kilo Charlie 5, Alpha Mike Tango. Name is Kelly in Louisville.
Yes, Kelly, how are you doing today? You're my backup. I think you're running all the back-end controls today. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning, giving you some shout-outs, but I forgot. So, how are you doing today, Kelly?
I'm doing fantastic, just hanging out here in the background, and we're trying to remain anonymous, but anyway, good net today. Thank you very much for hosting, and we really appreciate it. As for POTA, I think POTA is cool. I've gone to one POTA event. It was kind of an interesting travel. Got to learn something really interesting about my personal radio on that trip, and just really enjoyed the friendship and camaraderie. So I will tell you, whenever there's an opportunity to go POTA with some of the other ham radio operators in your club or whatever, by all means, reach out and be a part of that, because those are some really fun experiences to enjoy.
Very, very, very true. I think some of the best experiences that I've had in ham radio since I started in this, I think it's been a year now, have been POTA events and POTA adjacents, with field day, stuff like that. But, yeah, man, it is a great way to get out and meet your fellow hams, participate, and just learn some new stuff that maybe you didn't know before, or maybe help someone else learn something that they didn't know before or never thought of. But, yeah, no, POTA's, it's the bee's knees of ham radio. KJ5LXS. And Kelly, did you have anything else you wanted to add to today's net?
No, I'm good. I just want to wish everyone a wonderful and enjoyable week. I know we've got some folks that are heading out to Huntsville this coming week to participate in the Huntsville, Alabama Ham Fest. So by all means, if you're headed that way, drive safe and have a great time. And look forward to hearing the stories next week. This is KC5 AMT, back to net.
Certainly appreciate it, Kelly, and thank you for doing all the back-end work for me today. Really appreciate it. And we will do a last check-in. Is there anyone out there that would like to check into today's Digitally Speaking Net before we close this bad boy down for the day? Come now with your call sign.
Kilo, Golf 5, Romeo, Joliet, Romeo, Scott, Denton.
Stanton and Denton.
In 5, in Cheston.
I'm going to say that Scott, KG5RGR, or RJR, won that, and then I think it was possibly Sam that came after that. So let's start with Scott. What do you got, buddy?
Much. Just wanted to check in and say great net, Brandon, and see if we can drag you clear up to the 4 o'clock hour here with check-ins. Anyhow, hey, it's hot, and I'm taking a break in between what I should be getting done today. But thank you for taking the net. I do appreciate it, Brandon, and great job, KG5RGR.
KI5GGH, can you hear me?
I think I got a KE5AGH. Does that sound right? Come again.
KI5GGH, Van.
You're checking in again. What do you got for us, buddy? How are you doing?
I'm burning up.
I hear you. I'm sitting outside the gazebo, so I'm outside doing this. I hope you're at least in the indoors with some AC or something.
Yeah, the AC just quit working.
Van, did you have something you want to add to the net today for our topic for POTA?
No, I just checking in, see if the signal got better.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, your signal did get better. You were really scratchy before, and now you're only a little scratchy. So it did improve, I would say, by a lot. So good job.
The cable melted.
I think the heat advisory here in DFW is 102 right now, with a feels like of holy crap, it's hot. So yeah, I can see a cable melting as being a very valid reason for bad communication today.
This KI5GGH clear, trying to fix the AC.
Sure. Well, thank you for joining. And I think we had there was a double on the last one, and I think it was Sean, but I don't know. If there was if I missed somebody on that last one, come again with your call sign.
So, India, 5, Romeo, Sierra, Victor, Sam, Denton.
Damn! And you know what? I did not mean Scott or Sean. I meant Sam. But I had, anyways, I knew it was you, and I meant Sam, not Sean. So, what's up, buddy? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. But yeah, as for the next topic, POTA's a whole heck of a lot of fun. We did recently get a new antenna, so we got to go out there doing a POTA here soon to test it. But we like to POTA in the mobile rig. We just like to take our truck out there with the HF rig and do some POTA and stay in the air conditioning while doing the POTA.
No, it's super hot outside. I can see that's the cat's meow right there, right? Like AC is numero importante this time of year here in North Texas. But hey, I heard that you kill the battery on your jet ski? Like you drain it so low that now you just got to go get a new one?
Yep, and it happened on the water.
I will tell a very, very quick story about my boating experience and why I don't or will never own a boat again. And it's a great story. So let me reset. I bought a boat and I picked it up the morning of Memorial Day. And I took it out to Lake Dallas. And this was probably 25, maybe 30 years ago. And I picked it up and I took it out to Lake Dallas, and I was ready to party all weekend on my new boat as being a young 20-year-old that purchased a new boat. And that night, that boat caught on fire underneath the Louisville Bridge. We had to abandon ship as that thing beached itself and smoldered down to an engine block right there next to the boat ramp. So, fun story. Had a great life. That was a good memory. KJ5LXS.
Oh, wow. Closest thing I had to that is July 3rd, a couple of years ago. We were riding, and all of a sudden, my ski started taking on water. And it took on enough water to put at the bottom of the lake. So, we barely managed to save it, and but it was a close one. Thank goodness I had a Gatorade bottle, and we were able to bail it with the Gatorade bottle.
That was a lot of work. But, so POTA, I know you like to go out there and do it in the AC, but, just a couple weeks ago you weren't sitting in the truck in the AC. So when you're not in the truck and you're going to go do POTA, what's your preferred method, Sam?
Well, I like using my Zygu 6100 with a 50-watt amplifier. To me, that just gets the job done. But another thing to consider is summits on the air. If you ever go around to other states where they have mountains, summits on the air is a whole heck of a lot of fun.
And living in North Texas, like Summit on the Air has never even crossed my mind because we have very, very few summits. You know what I mean? But, I've watched YouTube videos of people doing it and stuff like that, and that is definitely on my list. Like I was saying before, I want to configure a really cool setup for the Harley, and because I love taking road trips on the Harley, right? Like long distance riding, it just tickles me pink. I love it. So I want to get a setup on the bike to where I can go all over the place, and summits on the air would be definitely at the top of my list on those, because anywhere there's a summit, there's probably beautiful scenery and beautiful riding too.
Roger that, 110%. And if you're going to go with a now it depends. Do you want to be? I have to ask. Are you going to want to be able to transmit while riding, or is it going to be after you go and stop, then grabbing the radio and throwing it up?
That's a great question, because obviously riding and trying to do stuff like this on the radio is not safe at all. However, for like a net like this, right? For something that's stationary, if I'm cruising through town and I could have my 2 meter going up and I could connect to a net to where I didn't have to try to turn the dial or tune into anybody, I wouldn't see a problem with that. They make some really cool things that you can Bluetooth into your comm system inside your helmet, and little remote control PCT mics and things like that. So I'm not opposed to it, but it would not be a focus. Let me reset. Would like it built. Well, to be honest with you, part of me thinks that I'd like it built into the bike, so I could just kind of pull over to a park and grab the mic out of the saddlebag and flip everything on and make some contacts and then maybe go do some more exploring, or just a really good backpack setup with a 50 or 100 watt rig and a nice POTA, inset half wave or something, really light and small to throw up to do something like that. I've thought about a lot of different avenues with that, but I haven't really nailed anything down. KJ5 LXS.
It sounds like a man-pack style setup would work best for you. Something like a, kind of along the lines of a PRC 77 style rig. Back to you.
I've got Dad's old FT100D, which is a great radio, 100 watt, small, compact. It even has a detachable face. So, and that's probably what I want to go with. I just need to figure out how I want to go about wiring it in, and do I want to do separate battery or hardwiring it into the bike? That's kind of where I've come down to on that.
You're probably going to want to run a separate battery. Here's why. You want to always be able to start it and get out of Dodge. And if you're running just one battery, you could drain your starting battery to a point where you can't can't drive. Also, then you'll be stuck to your machine. You can't go out and climb up a mountain with it.
To say I can't take my streak light up the side of the mountain. Come on now, I can get some knobby tires. I can dirt bike. I can climb that thing up the side of Pikes Peak or something like that. No, but those are very good points. And when I was saying it, I started thinking about those same things. But yeah, no, it would definitely need to be its own separate battery pack, so that way I could take it portable. Otherwise, I'd just be tethered to the motorcycle. Or carrying around like 1,000 foot of coax.
You got to run a trailer just full of heliacs.
I can get a sidecar for all of it. I get one of those little sidecars, and then I'll get me like a little toy poodle that can ride over there with it to protect it.
Sounds like you're going up the right path. Kilo India 5, Romeo Sierra Victor.
All right. So, do you have anything else to add to the net before I call for a possible last check-in?
To add to the net, thank you so much, and 73.
Sir, yes, sir. I appreciate it, and thanks. Every time I bring up the motorcycle and bringing up radio, and somebody else mentions something, it just puts me one step closer to actually doing this project, and I'll be very excited when I can do it. I think it'd just be really cool just to cruise around, take the motorcycle for a few days, and hit up multiple state parks, and just camp in a tent real quick and set up, do some activations, and move on down the road and keep it short and sweet. So this is Brandon, KG5 LXS, the net control operator today for the Digitally Speaking Net. And is there anyone else that would like to check in before we call the net a wrap today?
Juliet 5, November, Kilo Charlie, Pops Mobile. In 5, YR.
All right, Pops, I didn't catch the call sign, so come again, and then there was another one after that. So, Pops, come now with your call sign.
That's Kilo Juliet 5, November, Kilo Charlie. How you doing today, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm driving out to Fairview to pick up a flute for my granddaughter. Buying it from Marketplace. So we're going to meet at a fire station, and I'm going to buy her a nice Yamaha flute for band. We rented one, but man, they want like $70 a month to rent a flute. So I can buy one for a lot cheaper. So buying her a used one. It's almost brand new. It's only been used a few times. So that's what I'm up to right now.
If I had to check my bingo card for the day, that would have never, ever been on my bingo card for things that I had to do today. Would drive to Fairview for a flute. So it's amazingly awesome, and I appreciate that.
Well, I can get a new one for like $13.50, or I can buy a used one that's been hardly used for $500. So I'm going to do the $500 option, I think.
That's a no-brainer, right? Just clean out the slobber, you're good to go. So today's topic is POTA, Parks on the Air. Do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
I thought you were talking about the dance, the polka. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I've got, when I first got into ham radio, I got I was listening to Hobby Steve on the air, and he's a friend of mine, so I kind of got the same rig he has. I got the JP12, it's a expandable antenna, and I went out and got the Zygu G90, and I did really good out early spring because I'm still a technician. I can only do 10 meter. I made some really good contacts. I was hunting, and I got, within the first 2 weeks, I got Brazil and Alaska, and I got the Bahamas, and it was doing really great. And then, as you know, 10 meters not working too well right now. So working on the general. Got to get the general so I can do 20 and other meters.
Baby steps. Baby steps. You got to, those tests, they're so, they're so intimidating, right? Like, they're just very intimidating. And the reality is if you just buckle down and really study, and I'm so guilty of not doing this because I'm trying to get my extra, and I've started studying for it 100 times, and I've yet to make it past 30 minutes. and you just got to buckle down and do it. Get her done. Cross that finish line, and then talk on those extra bands. You know what I'm saying?
Break for the repeater. Yeah, and I've taken that what's it called, the ham prep, and I'm on module 17 out of 23 right now. But man, it's tough. That general is a tough. Oh, geez, people on the cut in front of you. It's pretty. It seems a lot harder than the technician, that's for sure. But I'll get it. I'll get it eventually. Not doing too good on the full practice test yet, but. I think the last one I took, I got 51%. Not very good, but I'll get it. Just going to have to, it's like you said, just go through all the videos and reading up on it, and then I'm going to be studying the test questions. So it's going to take me a few weeks, but I plan on getting it pretty soon.
I have faith in you, brother. You can do it. Trust me, if I did it, anybody can do it, because if there's one thing that I'm not good at, and it's studying for junk like that. But no, you can do it, and just, buckle, everybody just memorize the questions and answers, blah, blah, blah. But no, you can do it. And we everybody on the net today has faith that you'll get this done. And, yeah. So is there anything else you wanted to add to the net today?
I just wanted to check in for the numbers, and thank you for doing such a great job on the net today, and thanks for everybody who participated. Always learn a lot. I learn a lot by not saying anything and just listening. So y'all have a blessed day. 73 to everybody. KJ5NKC, back to the net.
Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And we appreciate you checking in. So there was a double on that last one. Who was that? I got caught up writing both call signs down, and I didn't catch either one of them. But so who else was coming in on that last one?
Yeah, good afternoon, Brandon, and everybody on the net. This is John, November 5, Yankee Alpha Indy, over here in southwest Denton County in Justin. Just wanted to check in for the count. I see we have reached the witching hour, which is 4:01 p.m. Central Time. So heard Scott say, let's run this thing to 4 o'clock. So it looks like you did it. Man, you're doing a great job. I don't have really any history yet with POTA. I've been in this hobby since 1991, and I guess I've been sack dragging on that. So I've got several friends that do, and the POTA king would be Mr. Maurice Martin. Everybody knows KM5RF from Waxahachie, Texas. I call him the POTA king because he is good. I went to the MENA M Fest last year, and before I got there, I passed this this pickup truck with a bunch of antennas on the side of the road, and it was actually a park. It was actually a park right off the side of the road. It was an official park, and there was KM5RF doing a POTA contact. So anyway, I've learned that later on. I got to meet him at the Ham Fest last year at Mena, Arkansas, which is, I believe, the weekend after Labor Day. But anyway, and then I have another buddy, K9MWD, that Kilo 9 military working dog, Mr. Mark. He's also from Waxahachie. He is a POTA rascal. Him and his wife, N1MOM, number one mom, they are out a lot doing POTA, and recently at the Palo Pinto Mountain State Park, which is one of Texas's newest state parks, which is out there near the foot of Ranger Hill, I believe. Palo Pinto Mountain State Park. So anyway, out that direction. So, but one of these days I'm going to do it. And they say once you wet your whistle, you're stuck. So stuck like Chuck. So I think it will be fun. Also, I'd like to remember K5WXR, Mr. Lee. That I remember listening to him on this net 10, 15 years ago when I started listening to it. Well, I guess it's 10 years ago or so. And always think about Lee. So thanks for what he did, and I know he's passed on now. But Brandon, thanks again for hosting the net, facilitating it. You did a great job. I learned a little bit, and Scott got his wishes. Went after 4 o'clock. So N5YAI. It's John over here in Justin, Texas.
Well, John, I do appreciate you checking in, and And that's awesome. Always love it. You know, and to everybody that checked in today, I really appreciate it, and I know that everybody else out there that's listening appreciates it, and all the feedback and the comments and the knowledge that we spread around is just absolutely phenomenal, and I can't say it enough how proud I am to be a part of a group of people that are just so awesome. But anyways, let me reset here. And we are going to have to call the net a close for the day. We went a little bit past our deadline there at 4 o'clock, so we are going to have to close the net today. But if anybody wants to stay on afterwards and shoot the shit, chat, do whatever, we'll keep it open, but just give us a little bit so we can close everything down and return the repeater back to normal everyday use. So this is Brandon, Kilo Juliet 5, Lima X-Ray Sierra, saying thank you to everyone that listened and for everyone that checked in today. Much appreciated, and thank you. Thank you very much. KJ5 LXS, returning the repeater back to normal use.
We're still here across the airwaves. Every Sunday we remember your name. The bands may change, the years may pass, but the friendships we build